Ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping up the BMW series with the finale.
How you like that for a finale?
We have VRSF catless downpipe intercooler, MHD ECU tune, XHP transmission tune. With 100 horsepower, faster shifts, and launch control, we should have a very, very good before and after on our hands. I'll have links to the VR Speed Factory, catless downpipe, and the intercooler in the description, along with the MHD ECU tune and the XHP transmission tune. I'm hoping that this catless downpipe really livens up the exhaust note. Right now, being completely stock exhaust, it's pretty quiet, it's unlively, I'm not a big fan. Before we install our parts and do our two tunes, let's first hear what this exhaust note sounds like. Uneventful, right? It sounds like stock. I'm not a fan. So with the cat delete, I hope it livens it up just a little bit. Now, let's go do our Draggy tests. All right, we're out here to do our 3 stock Draggy runs. 300 horsepower stock, around 4,000 pounds. I'm not expecting anything crazy. I think the stock reported quarter mile is like 14 seconds. I'm expecting 14.2. Okay, we're going. First run, not terrible. What did we do? 14.5. So no launch control. Our 60 foot's 2.2, so fully expect that with no launch control. Okay, let's go for run number 2 here. Slow off the start. I'm hoping that launch control really helps us out there. Yeah, 14.6, no faster there. Let's try one more. Okay, going for run number 3 here. .3, 60 foot. It's not getting any better. Launch control is going to be the biggest difference on this quarter mile. All right, there's our 3 runs. We got our 3 Draggy runs. Let's head back to the shop, get our performance parts in, and do some afters. I think the difference is going to be massive. Let's get there. All right, let's talk Draggy runs. I'll put the 3 Draggy runs up on the screen here. All 3 runs I complain about our launch. We have no launch control. I think our biggest time gain is going to be in our 60 foot. Having no launch control, all 3 of our 60 foots were 2.27, 2.27, and 2.31. General rule of thumb is every 0.1 second you save in the 60 foot is 0.2 seconds in the quarter mile. So if we can get that 2.27 down to a 2 flat, we're gonna be 0.6 seconds faster in the quarter. That'll already get us down to a 13-second quarter mile. Secondly, our trap speed in all 3 runs were in the 94 mile per hour, increasing our horsepower by 33%. I'm hoping that gets us into the 100 mile per hour trap speed. Maybe the high 100s, maybe close to a 110. 110 might be pushing it, but 33% increase in horsepower. Let's get that trap speed to at least 100, and I bet we have a mid 13-second car. Best case scenario. That is my current guess. I might eat my words, but I bet we can gain a full second with launch control and 33% more horsepower. I will quickly mention our 0 to 60 mile per hour in our best run was 6.2 seconds. All right, so that is our rundown on our stock Draggy times. Not what I was hoping for, but I should have expected these times. I bet we gain a full second in our quarter mile with these parts here. Let's open up the boxes. Small box first. Ooh, baby. All right, we got a new clamp and a new gasket here. We got our beautiful VR Speed Factory catless downpipe. We got our 2 O2 sensor bungs here. Factory, there's one before the cat and after the cat. Obviously, these can be right next to each other since there is no cat. There's our downpipe. Let's check out our intercooler. First thing in the box is a stencil, so you can spray paint the VRSF logo on the intercooler if you prefer. And here is our beautiful intercooler. Looks like it comes with some brackets and our intercooler. As you can see here, it has a step to it. This top section is thinner. I'm guessing this is going to go in between the radiator and the AC condenser. So radiator in the back, AC condenser in the front, and then we'd have our power steering and our transmission cooler above this section here. So this is gonna give us more surface area, and we'll compare the downpipe and the intercooler when we get the parts out. With our new parts unboxed, let's get the car in the air so we can get started. Okay, front of the car is in the air, popping in for a little bit of an update. I'm actually doing some maintenance along the way here. So as you can see here, we have some metal cross members and our radiator fan shroud out. And that gives us a lot of room up front here to do our tensioner, a couple of idlers, and our serpentine belt. If you guys remember in our first start and drive video, we had some belt noise, it was squeaking, and it was actually our bottommost idler here. This one's pretty rough to spin, and it definitely needed to be replaced. But of course, instead of just buying that one idler, I bought a kit that had both idlers, our tensioner, and our belt. So not really a part of the performance video, but I thought I'd throw it in here quick that I'm doing some maintenance along the way. After I throw these on, I have our evap pump that I'm going to replace in the back, and hopefully that gets rid of our check engine light. So this gets rid of our squeak, and hopefully this gets rid of our check engine light. And just to show you our old vacuum pump and our new one. This was pretty easy to get to. You just take off your rear wheel and your fender liner, and it's located in this corner here. All right, we are underneath the car now. We need to take off the entire exhaust just to take the downpipe off, because obviously exhaust on this car is one big piece and it connects to our downpipe, believe it or not. So starting with this cross member here, gotta take this off to drop the exhaust. Next up, we're going to take the clamp off that's holding the downpipe to the rest of the exhaust. Now to take the rest of the exhaust off, we have 3 hangers holding on the exhaust at the back. Right at the exhaust tip here, we have this nut that's holding on a hanger on both sides. Attached to the mufflers is this exhaust hanger, which is just a bolt on the top. And right next to your rear diff is the 3rd and final hanger. Okay, lastly, the hangers here by the rear diff. A little squirt of WD-40 on these exhaust hangers goes a long way. Now, be safe about this. I know I'm directly underneath the exhaust, and that's, you know, scary. But just take off the exhaust hangers. Wow. And then just bench press it and slide out. That's how they do it in the manual. This is why we took that clamp off on the downpipe right away, because it should just slide out, depending on how rusty your car is. And now our exhaust is off, and I'm stuck underneath it. Just get out. My leg. There we go. And just like that, we have our exhaust dropped off of our downpipe. Disclaimer, if you live in the Midwest like me or anywhere else where they salt the roads, that's probably going to be a pain in the butt. Luckily, I've already taken this one off when I pulled the engine out, so everything was already free and it came right off. Not even kidding, the first time I did this, it took me at least half an hour, 45 minutes because it was so rusty. So good luck. Now we can take off our downpipe. Here we are at our catalytic converter, or our downpipe. We have a bracket and a nut here. Right past this O2 sensor where my little fingy, it's wiggling, is another bolt or another nut for a bracket. And then we just have our actual clamp right here attaching it to the turbo. So 2 nuts, 1 bolt, and our downpipe should come out. They are all 13 millimeters. Bolts and nuts are 13 mil. Why not start with the easy one, huh? Again, remember, these are all coming out super easy because I just had this out when I pulled the engine. So these all should be super easy to do. Okay, bottom bracket's loose and our clamp is coming loose. There's our clamp bolt. Okay, just gotta get that top bolt, the painful one. I'm gonna try to use a stubby little 13 mil ratcheting wrench to get this one. There we go, final nut off. This should just come right off now. The clamp is stuck. Or maybe just push on it here like this. There we go. And bada boom. All right, got our old cat out. I'd actually really be interested in weighing this cat and our new downpipe and seeing how much weight we save. All right, after our downpipe, we can take off our intercooler. We just take off this plastic piece. We got Torx bits, one on each side. Then we just have to take off the clips that hold the intercooler to the charge piping, and out it comes from the bottom. Okay, got one side off. My advice was always you gotta push them together, pull the clip out, and then they slide apart. So one side done, just gotta do this other side. All right, there we go. Both sides are off. We just gotta slide it on down. What do we got on? Whew, there we go. Almost knocked myself out. All right, here we have it. We have our old intercooler versus our new intercooler, and we have our old downpipe versus our new downpipe. We're gonna save some weight with our new downpipe, but we're gonna gain some weight back with our new intercooler. I quick weighed our parts here. Let me go over those weights with you. So our stock downpipe weighs 10.2 pounds. Our stock intercooler weighs 7.6 pounds. Our VRSF downpipe weighs 4.8 pounds. And the VRSF intercooler weighs 23.8 pounds. So the stock parts together weigh 17.8, and the VRSF parts together weigh 28.6. So we're gaining 100 horsepower at the cost of 10.8 pounds, and I'd say that's a very fair trade. Now we can get back to work, put our intercooler in. All right, with a bigger and heavier intercooler means harder install. But let's see how it goes. It's definitely going to be a tight fit. Oh, Jesus. Whew. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, intercooler is in and our charge pipes are on. So as you can see here with this intercooler on, it's much deeper, or it's taller, it's lower, it's thicker, so this bottom plastic piece no longer fits. However, I will keep it along with the stock intercooler just in case we ever want to go back. All right, so now that we have our intercooler in, we can see where these brackets they sent us go. We can see bolts here. So they do provide bolts and brackets just to help support the intercooler here. All right, that's our intercooler installed. We got brackets on, charge pipe on. It's not going anywhere. Next up, I got our downpipe and I transferred the O2 sensors over to it already, so we just got to put it on. All right, in theory, this one should be easier to put on than our stock cat because there is so much more room here. Okay, just a little tip or trick. What I ended up doing is using a longer bolt to get the clamp started and squeezed into place, and then you just take the bolt out and then the shorter bolt will fit a lot easier. So we got the clamp on, just got to snug that bolt up and put the rest of our exhaust on. So you saw up there, I got the exhaust resting on the downpipe, so I just lift it up, slide it on, and I'll start by putting this exhaust hanger on. There we go. Got one nut started. Now you want to do these rear diff mounts first-ish because they're a lot harder with the rest of the mounts on. we go. Exhaust, back on. I spoke too soon. We have one more clamp. That's the downpipe to the rest of the exhaust. So get that clamped, and then I think we start the car and check for any leaks. Bada boom! Intercooler's on, downpipe's on, the rest of the exhaust is on, the O2 sensors are plugged in. That means we're ready. The last thing I have to do to button up is just put that metal bracket that goes underneath the exhaust on, but I want to check for exhaust leaks before I do that, which means it's time to start the car with the new exhaust and see how it sounds. Really hoping it sounds a little bit better. Okay, you know, car sounds a little more lively. Now we're ready to flash the ECU and the TCU. For the ECU, we're going to be using MHD, and for the TCU, we're going to be using XHP. So with the car on, we open the MHD app. Now we should be able to flash a map. Here we go. Select stage 2 plus, and now it's asking what transmission. Let's select auto 8. Now let's do our right. Okay, I read this warning here and it says battery charger recommended, turn off lights, turn off climate control. So we got the charger hooked up, climate control off, and our lights are off. Took 2 minutes and 48 seconds. The MHD and the XHD flash tools are pretty similar. Okay, let's flash this car. I want to do stage 3. All right, we're flashing. We have our MHD tune flash done. XHP is underway. It's already halfway done. We can get this off jack stands on the ground and we can go for our second first drive, but this time with 100 extra horsepower and much faster shifts and launch control. The flashing is done. It's clearing our fault codes and success. We are ready to go on our second first drive with the vehicle, now tuned. All right, let's get the window down here. Let's go sport mode, traction control off. Let's see how it feels. Oh my God, the shifts are so much faster. Oh my God. Pushes forward even when it's shifting. So with the XHP, there's a drag mode, and you can turn off the torque limiting during shifts and you can feel it. Every time it shifts, it pushes forward. It doesn't pull you back, it pushes you forward. That's so cool. It puts you back. Oh, the pulling during shifts is wild. That's so cool. I've never had a car that pushes you into your seat even when it's shifting. That's nuts. I put a community poll out there for people to guess on whether we would gain a quarter second, half a second, 3/4, or a second or more. And so far, a majority of people are putting that I'm going to gain a second or more. And 100% I agree with that. Okay, it is the next day for me, hence new clothes. I don't know if you guys notice how many times I change clothes in one video, but it's often. We are here, we are ready for the after Draggy tests. So I drove this car 20 to 30 miles yesterday, romped on it, made sure we weren't gonna have any issues. I did 5 launches, I did 5 rolling anti-leg hits, just to make sure that the car wasn't gonna break immediately. No check engine lights, no issues, no hiccups, no misfires, no any issues with the transmission. I mean, everything's super solid. All right, here we go, pull number 1. Woo. Oh, see that? Just pulls even when it's shifting. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, you guys. Oh, 1.2 second increase. That's nuts. What was our 60 foot 1.93? I told you. I guess we were gonna do a 2-second flat. We gained 0.3 seconds on our 60 foot, and that brought us down to 13s already. And we trapped at, I don't see our trap, but I think we trapped at over 100. I knew that those were the wombo combo items. If we trapped over 100 and we 0.3 second increase on our 60 foot, I knew we were gonna kill it. That's awesome. Okay, let's go again. Oh yeah. God, it feels so much better, guys. It's nuts, the improvement. All right, so that 60 foot was better by 0.02, so not much better. That 60 foot was better, it felt better. We were going slightly uphill. I don't even know if that's gonna be a valid Draggy run. We were going slightly uphill. I bet if it was flat ground, that run would have killed it. All right, so pump the brakes, get it real fucking built up, mash the pedal, let go. Guys, you can tell just from my reaction how much more fun this car is. It's a huge before and after. Whew, I love it. And temperatures are fine, no check engine lights. Let's get back to the shop. Let's go over it in detail. Back at the shop to go over our Draggy runs. But first, kind of a surreal moment. We are finishing the BMW. We're finishing the first YouTube series that I've done. It's weird, and I love it. I want to keep going. I want to do more. I want to do cooler stuff. So thank you for those that subscribe. If you're not subscribed, think about doing it. It helps me more than you know. And I want to share content with you guys. It's been more fun than I thought it would be. Honestly, I thought making YouTube videos would be a pain and unenjoyable, and I proved myself wrong. I really enjoy this. I want to keep going. Enough sentimental stuff. Draggy before and afters. So I got numbers written down here. We're comparing the best before time to the best after time. Starting from the beginning, we went 0.34 seconds faster in the first 60 feet from 2.27 to 1.93. We went 1.23 seconds faster in the 0 to 60 mile per hour from 6.27 to 5.04. We went 1.15 seconds faster in our quarter mile, going from 14.52 to 13.37, which is 1337 or leet for the nerds out there. And our trap speed was 7.44 miles per hour faster, going from 9.433 to 101.77. So, those of you who voted on the community tab that I would be going 1 second faster or more, you were absolutely correct. Everybody else who thought I was some people thought I was only gonna go 0.25 seconds faster. That's nuts, you're crazy. That hurt my feelings, I took it personally. So there we have it. Back to the sentimental stuff. Subscribe, rate, comment, all the things. It helps me more than you know. But again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.